What happens when a simple sit-down between a comedian and a prince slowly turns into a tense showdown? The set looked warm and calm, almost like a soft living room. The lights were gentle, the chairs inviting, and the atmosphere relaxed. Trevor Noah walked in with his usual grin, ready for an easy chat. But when Prince Harry joined him on What Now, everything started shifting little by little. What was supposed to be a playful talk slowly slipped into something sharp, uncomfortable, and strangely intense. Trevor cracked jokes. Harry fired back. Within minutes, the humor faded away, replaced by something colder. Harry walked onto the set with a stiff smile, as if he wanted to look relaxed but couldn't quite manage it. Trevor welcomed him warmly and tried to lighten the mood. He joked about LA traffic, but Harry brushed it off as if even mentioning it annoyed him. The small crew laughed out of habit, but Harry didn't join them. When Trevor asked gently about life in America, Harry answered with a smirk, saying he thought the real question was how he was treating America. The comment hung heavy in the air, half joking, half serious, and not entirely friendly. Trevor teased him about elevating a whole country, but Harry didn't soften. Trevor tried switching to safer topics, like morning routines and family life. Harry shot them down, calling them tabloid-style questions. Trevor kept smiling, though there was a small flicker of discomfort behind it. He explained that people liked simple details because they wanted to see the human side of public figures. Harry dismissed that too, saying he didn't need people to see him as relatable. The room went still for a moment. When Trevor touched on Harry's childhood in the royal family, Harry called it a gilded cage. Trevor gently mentioned that people might argue he also benefited from that world, but Harry cut him off, saying he owed it nothing. The tension rose as Trevor tried to stay calm and keep things moving. When he brought up Princess Diana, hoping for something sincere, Harry snapped instantly. He said he was tired of being compared to her and didn't want to be treated like a replacement. Trevor backed away from the subject at once, but the strain lingered. After a short break, the cameras rolled again and Trevor tried to bring back the charm, but the warmth in his voice had thinned. Harry made a comment about not needing comedy to be worth listening to. Trevor laughed it off, but the pause before his comeback said enough. When he asked again about life in the States, Harry refused to pretend anything was normal. Trevor joked about buses bowing to him, and the crew laughed loudly, almost desperately, but Harry didn't respond. Trevor tried again to draw out something more human, asking why Harry didn't share small details people could connect with. Harry said people wanted too much, that they felt entitled to parts of his life he wasn't willing to offer. Trevor, staying patient, shifted to broader questions about the monarchy. Harry described it as outdated and controlling. When Trevor brought up the idea of benefits again, Harry dismissed it with more irritation, saying any advantage was just a pretty leash. Trevor tried bringing Meghan and the kids into the conversation, gently and respectfully, but Harry shut it down instantly. He said people were too curious and he didn't owe anyone that kind of access. Trevor attempted to lighten the mood with a joke about keeping his own mum out of his routines, but Harry barely reacted. Trevor asked if sharing a little could help people feel connected. Harry insisted that people didn't want connection, only access, and he refused to offer any. The air thickened each time Harry answered. Even the crew stopped shifting around. Trevor pushed through with another joke, saying Harry had swiped left on the world, but Harry only smirked and said maybe the world deserved it. The laughter that followed was thin and nervous. Trevor circled back to Diana, asking gently if he felt responsibility to carry any part of her legacy. Harry snapped again, saying he was sick of the comparison. The temperature in the room dropped even further. Trevor nodded, apologized softly, and moved on, but the interview was slipping fast. The cozy set no longer felt warm. It felt like two men trapped in a shrinking room. Trevor asked whether Harry saw himself as an outsider now. Harry said the only thing binding him to the past were people like Trevor constantly asking about it. Trevor mentioned that the interviews, books, and deals seemed like looking back too, but Harry replied with a cutting line about Trevor needing better material. Trevor forced a laugh, though his eyes didn't match it. When Trevor asked about the children's future, Harry grew sharper, accusing him of treating his kids like topics for entertainment. Trevor tried to explain that people asked out of admiration. Harry rejected the two, saying admiration wasn't real and people only consumed. Trevor attempted another light moment, but Harry rolled his eyes. Trevor pointed out that from the outside, it looked like Harry didn't mind the spotlight. Harry snapped that Trevor was lecturing him. Trevor clarified he wasn't just reflecting what people noticed. Harry said he didn't owe clarity to anyone. The mood finally cracked. Trevor set his cards down and breathed out. He asked Harry why he even came if all he wanted was to push back at everything. Harry said he was tired of people expecting him to bear himself. Trevor told him this wasn't honesty, it was hostility. Harry blamed the world for treating him like a target. Trevor said calling everything a circus was ironic for someone who sold the tickets himself. The studio felt like it might burst. Harry leaned forward, saying Trevor didn't understand. Trevor said maybe not, but he understood respect, and Harry had shown none. He called Harry's behavior arrogant. Harry stood abruptly, eyes blazing, and said he didn't need to be lectured. Trevor stood too, calm and steady, and told him to leave if he couldn't handle a real conversation. Harry stormed off the set. The camera stayed on the empty chair. Trevor turned to the lens, apologized to viewers for the wasted time, and said interviews should be conversations, not walls. The screen faded to black, leaving everyone stunned. If you were shocked by this intense moment, make sure to like, subscribe, and tap the bell so you don't miss the next unbelievable interview.